Hello!
Ahoy!
Welcome to Season 3 of Bottom of the Stream.
Here we are, back again.
We're not quite here, though.
No.
I'm on a stream boat. Where are you?
I am also in a boat, which looks a little bit like my daughter's playroom.
Yeah, we're...
Possibly because it is.
Is it definitely is? You sure?
Yeah. I'm looking into the eyes of Tinkerbell.
Oh, that's nice.
On the wall.
So as with everything at the minute, this is going to be a little bit weird for us. We've never done this before. So it's all a bit new. We're remotely recording each other. We can't see each other. It's weird.
We are socially distancing.
We are socially distancing.
By about, I don't know, a mile and a half, something like that.
Just about, yeah. 5-minute drive. I miss you, man.
Well, get used to it.
So the start of Season 3 is going to be a bit strange, but we're going to try and muddle through it and we'll get there. And I'm sure, hopefully by the end of the season, we'll be back together.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope we're not separated for that long. I'm Nick.
Let's hope so. I'm Adam.
And this is Bottom of the Stream.
Season 3. BOTScars were last week. How do you think the BOTScars went?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I had a lot of good feedback, so that's nice.
Oh, excellent. That's always good to hear.
Yeah. A lot of work went into that, so it was nice that people enjoyed it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm in a hell of a lot of debt from renting out that theatre.
Yeah. We need to recoup some money.
And flying all those guests over to present nominations.
Yeah, it was hard work, but we got there and it was fun. We enjoyed it. That's the main thing.
Thank you for everyone who helped out.
Yeah, thank you again for everybody. It was really good of you to join in. We had some real good fun. Should I run through the socials?
Yeah, let's do it.
Follow us on Twitter at BOTS_podcast. Follow us on Instagram at BOTS_podcast. The website is www.bottomofthestream.com, where you'll find every episode we've ever recorded and both seasons' stream tables. And Patreon. Join us on Patreon, please. If you can spare any change that you can give to a couple of poor unfortunates that need it. Patreon.com/bottomofthestream. And in return, we'll give you some extra bonus episodes and some merch and things like that, if we can ever go back outside again.
There should be a newsletter hitting your inboxes in the next couple of days.
Of course, I forgot about the newsletters. Yeah, you get a newsletter every month, which Nick writes, and is really fun.
Oh, thanks. You have to say that.
I do have to say that.
But it's fun to do.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. You've got a bit more time to do it these days.
Yes, possibly so. If you can't spare us any cash on Patreon, then leave us a review either on Podchaser or on Apple Podcasts, because it really helps things. Get in the ears of everyone and get in the right lists and all that sort of stuff. Yeah,
it really does help. So yeah, if you could do that as well, or either or, that would be great. Thank you very much. Have you got any Netflix news, Nick?
I'm pretty light on news.
Yeah?
I have watched a couple of things, but let's do news first. I'm sure you've got something.
I've only got a few little tidbits of news. I'm sure you've heard about Netflix reducing the bandwidth.
Yeah, and do you reckon you can tell the difference?
No.
You don't? Because we watched something the other night and I thought it did look a little bit grainy.
Do you think?
Just a slight, not much, but...
I don't think it's going to be
maybe I'm
crazy noticeable. It's still HD. It's still 4K. It's just not as bandwidthy. I don't really understand it, but I've not really noticed a difference, personally.
It's tough times call for tough bandwidth. I don't know. Is that a thing?
Maybe, but obviously it is. Also, Love is Blind has been renewed. Have you watched any of Love is Blind?
No, but I kind of think I probably should, just to keep my finger on the pop culture pulse.
I'm surprised you haven't been forced to watch that. I'm sure that's probably coming during your isolation period.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. I am actually quite intrigued to watch it.
Yeah, a lot of people at work had been talking about it. Basically I don't really understand it myself, but it's people who don't know each other never get to see each other until they get married, as far as I can make out. So
the whole thing is to try and fall in love with someone by talking and their personality, isn't it, rather than looks. I have heard a few people say, it does hook you in, even if you're totally against these sort of schlocky reality things. So yeah, I'm sure it's just a matter of time before we give it a go.
I'm sure it is. It's been renewed for 2 seasons, so there's going to be at least 3 seasons of it to watch.
Wow.
My next bit of news is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I know you're a fan.
Nice.
Season 6 is hitting Netflix this Saturday, so by the time this episode comes out, it will be there.
So
great to watch Season 6 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's a really good time to, like you say, catch up on the great show to binge watch.
Definitely. I haven't seen Season 6 yet, so I'm quite excited about watching that.
Excellent.
I'm looking forward to it. That's really it for news.
I'll go with one more then.
Go on.
Because do you know what is coming to Netflix on the 1st of April? Talking of great sitcoms.
Go on.
Community.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Oh, that's exciting.
All 6 seasons.
Wow.
So I will definitely be doing a rewatch of that because it's been a few years and it is a great show.
I've never watched it from the start. I would definitely give that a go then. That would give me something to do.
I would thoroughly recommend it, as I have said before. But if you've got Netflix, go, in the UK, it's a great chance to see it. It was a kind of a difficult show to get over here. But go for it. Fill your boots. I will definitely do that. Have you seen anything or heard anything of Tiger King? I have heard a bit about it, yes.
Yeah, it's next on my list to watch. And I've not seen it yet, but it does sound batshit crazy.
It's this year's Fire Festival, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. Is it the same people who made it?
I think it's the same producers.
It's the same producers, yeah. So yeah, I'm going to be watching that next. So if anybody's seen that, let me know what they think, and we'll have a chat about it.
Yes, I would definitely try and do that.
Cool. What have you been watching then at the top of the stream?
So I've watched a couple of random things. I've just finished watching a BBC drama from a couple of years ago.
Oh right.
Dr. Foster.
Oh yeah, with Thingy in it.
Yeah, Thingy. Yeah.
What's her name? That's really annoying.
Saran Jones.
That's her.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I didn't even know it was on there.
It petered out a bit towards the end, but it was. It's only like 10 episodes, but it was pretty. I would compare it to when you get one of these trashy, pulpy summer novels.
Yeah.
That sort of thing, but on TV.
Excellent.
But it was good. It was good.
Cool.
And then the other thing I've watched 2 or 3 of is I've dipped my toe into anime.
Oh right.
Which I haven't really done much of, and I watched the first few episodes of Castlevania.
Oh right, okay.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The first episode is awesome.
Oh wow.
Absolutely awesome. They're only like 20 minutes. But yeah, I'm definitely going to carry on watching them. Really, really good. So based on the game, which I know nothing about either, but I'm quite into like the Dracula gothic stuff. It's really good. Cool.
I'll check that out. I'll add that onto my list as well. I'm going to complete Netflix during this quarantine period.
That's just a good challenge. How about you?
I watched a film the other night, and it was called Girl on the Third Floor.
Okay, yeah, I've heard of that.
Don't watch it.
Okay.
It's awful. It's really, really bad.
Why?
It's just, the first half of it is really boring, because you're just watching CM Punk renovate a house. And then the second part of it, I'm not kidding you, is as crazy, or almost as crazy as Await Further Instructions.
You're not putting me off.
I should be. Somebody asked me earlier what to describe it, and I said it's like a cross between I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House and Await Further Instructions.
Okay.
Because it's a crazy, ghostly film, and it's weird. Don't watch it. CM Punk is not a good actor. I don't know what makes wrestlers think they can act.
Well, look at The Rock. He's done all right.
He's the exception that proves the rule, I think.
You've not dissuaded me, to be honest.
Give it a watch then and see what you think.
Okay.
On your head be it.
Fine.
Also want to quickly mention Better Call Saul.
Yep.
Which is still going. It's about 6 episodes into this season, I think now. The episodes are coming out weekly, which is weird for Netflix, but that's what they decided to do with it. I think it's been their best season so far.
Awesome. I love that show.
I really love it. And normally with Better Call Saul, it's one of those shows that I don't look forward to watching, but then I enjoy when I'm watching it.
Yeah.
This season, I'm kind of like waiting for the episode to come.
Oh, that's a good recommendation. Because I would fall into the same camp. I really have to sort of almost psych myself up to watch it.
Yeah.
But then
I really enjoy it when you are watching.
Yeah, I can't get enough of it once you actually get round to pressing play.
I'm not getting that this season. I'm really enjoying this season.
Awesome.
I think that's it. I'm sure over the next few weeks I'll be watching a lot more, but that's currently all I've been watching.
I've got Disney Plus.
Have you got that now?
That? Yeah.
Cool. I might have to nick your login for that.
That's yeah. Okay. We'll talk about it off air.
Any good so far?
Yeah, we watched a movie. But yeah, this seems pretty good.
Good.
It's got it for the launch price, so pretty good value. $49.99 for the year. That
is good value, to be fair, for the amount of stuff that's on there.
Yeah,
and more stuff that's coming as well. That is good value.
Yeah, I thought so. So I'll let you know in the next few weeks how we get on with it.
Cool, excellent news.
But again, very fortuitous timing for them for all these.
It could not have landed better for them, could it?
All these children to be off school.
The conspiracy theorists must be going crazy.
I know. It's it is pretty coincidental.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Anything else?
I think that's it for what we have watched.
Yeah, me too.
I do have a game.
You've got a game?
Yeah, to kick
in the
us
season
off.
3 premiere episode, we have a game.
Sure do.
Socially distanced game. Let's do it.
I don't know which name to go with though.
Okay.
I've got like a more less risque name, and then a more not safe for work name.
Go for the not safe for work name. Always.
I don't know if I can. Tinkerbell's looking right at me. So we're talking this week about a movie called Take Me.
Yes.
Which is a kidnap movie.
Yep.
The game we're going to play is kind of a sequel, actually. Do you remember when we did The Man Who Killed Hitler and then The Bigfoot? We played War Film or War Film.
Yeah, I remember vividly.
Well, we're doing that game, but instead we're doing it with kidnap movies.
Okay.
And I've called it Cash or Gash.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, let's play Cash or Gash.
So
what's the concept?
I'll give you 5 movies.
Yeah.
And you have to tell me, is it a kidnap movie, Cash, or is it an erotic thriller? The other word.
Gash?
Yeah.
Okay. Cash or Gash, let's go.
My other name was going to be Lone or Bone.
That's slightly worse.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so...
as in porn?
No, erotic thriller.
Just erotic thriller, okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
all right.
Not, yeah, like I said last time, this is a classy establishment.
Okay.
Okay, so the first one is a movie called Chained.
Chained? Ooh, that could go either way.
Sure.
That's kind of the whole point of the game. Gash.
You're going with Gash.
Yeah, I know. Not like me, but yeah.
Unfortunately, you're incorrect.
Oh.
It is Cash. It's a British movie from 2013.
Okay.
So the synopsis is, held captive by a serial killer since the age of 8, a teen must choose between escape or following in his captor's bloody footprints.
Ooh, okay. That sounds exciting.
So 0-1. Okay, next one. Below her mouth.
Is her chin?
It's not like the knee bone's connected to the shin bone.
Below her mouth?
Yeah.
That's got to be a gash. That's got to be an erotic thriller.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, had to be.
Do you want the synopsis?
Yes, of course.
Yasmin is a successful fashion editor living with her fiancé. On a night out in the city with her best friend, she meets Dallas, a roofer recently out of a relationship.
Ooh.
Well, there you go.
Sounds quite good.
Yeah. That is Canadian from 2016.
Okay.
Okay, 1-1. Next one is After Dark, My Sweet.
Oh, wow. After Dark, My Sweet.
Yep.
Cash.
Correct.
Oh, that was a guess. Proper guess.
That is from 1991, starring Jason Patric.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Synopsis is, Kevin, an ex-boxer, after escaping from a mental hospital, gets involved with a widow named Faye. Her uncle talks them into helping him kidnap a rich boy for ransom, but things soon turn sour.
Ooh, exciting.
Right, where are we? 2-1 to you. Right, this could seal it for you. The next one is Chocolate Inspector.
Really?
Yeah.
There's no way there's a kidnap film called Chocolate Inspector. That is gash.
Incorrect.
Oh, what? Chocolate Inspector?
Chocolate Inspector, also known as Inspector Chocolate, is a 1986 Hong Kong crime comedy film.
Oh my goodness.
Unlucky.
Where on earth did you find that?
I just Googling. 2-2. Right.
Oh, decider.
So, it comes down to the last film. Can you tell me, is it a kidnap film or an erotic thriller? The film is Dangerous Sex Date.
Oh, you're trying to double bluff me here. I'm going to go Cash.
I'm so sorry. It's
Gash. Damn it. I thought you were double bluffing me, but you triple bluffed me.
It's an Italian film from 2001 where a young woman mathematician answers a personal ad for sadomasochistic sex.
Oh, obviously.
I'm sorry, you've...
Damn it, I lost.
You've lost 2-3.
I haven't lost many of your games. I'm quite devastated right now.
That was tough. Some of those titles could have gone either way.
Yeah, they really could. Cool. Thank you for that. I enjoyed that very much. Shall we move on? Talk about Take Me?
Let's do what we're here for.
Let's do it. So, Take Me is a film from 2017. It is a 15 and runs at 1 hour and 24 minutes. Currently rated at 6.1 on IMDb. Stars a guy called Pat Healy, has a character called Ray. He is also the director of this film. He's probably most famous for his role in The Post. Have you heard of The Post?
Yeah, is that Tom Hanks?
Yeah, a couple of years ago. Tried to get a couple of Oscars, didn't it? But I don't think it succeeded. He's also in a film called Pandemic, which is quite ironic at the moment. But most importantly, he's also in a film called Small Crimes.
Who was he in that? Remind me.
I've no idea.
Okay.
I haven't written it down.
I think he was the son of the crime boss. You know, the absolute psychopath.
Yeah, he was.
I think
he absolutely was. Yeah, you're right.
It was the best thing in that movie.
Yeah. Junior, he was called, wasn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. He was. Yeah. So it's the second time he's appeared on our show.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, Pat Healy. Also directed this film. Also stars a lady called Taylor Schilling, who you will know from Orange is the New Black. Probably nothing else. She's been in a few other things, but mostly people will know her from Orange is the New Black, I think.
Definitely a Netflix favourite.
Yeah, definitely. The film was written by a guy called Mike Makowski, who we have also come across before.
He's the green one from Monsters, Inc.
That's the one. That's the guy. He also wrote I Think We're Alone Now.
Really?
Yeah, which we reviewed back in season 1.
I'm suddenly starting to feel a bit cramped in the stream.
Prepare to be more cramped, because this film is produced by the Duplass brothers.
Really?
We've also come across before. Mark Duplass was in The Lazarus Effect.
He was, yeah.
Which was also in season 1. So, yeah, this film's full of bottom of the stream alumni.
Small world.
Do you have a one-word review of Take Me?
Give me a second.
Take all the time in the world. We've certainly got it.
Slappy.
Slappy. Yep, I'm fine with that. You can have that.
To slap or not to slap is a very important question in this movie.
It really is. It's probably the most important question in this movie.
Sure.
So, where do we start?
In a bank.
We do, indeed.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. No, that's Anchorman. Ray Mooney is trying to get a bank loan.
Correct. And he's turned up at this bank in an absolutely horrendous wig.
I've just realised that really sounds like Wayne Rooney. And I hadn't clocked all the way through
that at all, but you're absolutely right.
And now I'm going to be picturing the English footballer all the way through this.
With a terrible wig on.
Yeah.
It is an awful wig.
Yeah.
He wears it all the way through. It is a wig.
But it's a plot point.
It's a plot point,
Yeah.
But it is awful. You go kind of interspersed with these scenes of him asking for this bank loan. We see him kidnapping a guy. And he's kind of getting ready and putting his mask on and buying some rope and things, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's got a guy down in a basement somewhere, basically, tied up to a chair.
Yeah, we see him kidnap this guy from outside a bar. And then he's got this guy tied up to a chair, as you said, and he's force-feeding him burgers.
Yeah, just cheeseburger after cheeseburger.
Yeah, I think he said 12.
He's a larger set gentleman, let's be fair.
He's a big fat man. But after 8 hours, Ray kind of just stops and lets him go. And it turns out it was all planned. It was all to put him off burgers, basically.
Yeah, so like you say, this is intercut with the scene in the bank where he's explaining to the loan person, I don't know what that job's called, the bank assistant, that he's looking for a loan for his small business, which is to stage simulated kidnappings.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Now, it took me a while to put 2 and 2 together, but this did then remind me, once I remembered where I'd seen it before, of another Netflix show. Okay. So, do you remember The Dark Tourist?
Yeah.
So, there's an episode of that where the guy who presents that show goes and has this done, basically. That's
true, he does, yeah. I'd forgotten all about that.
So, he goes and he is kidnapped and sort of tortured for a night. And so, there are real businesses out there like this.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you'll be like tripping over them, but they're there.
They are there if you need them. Basically, he gets turned down for this bank loan, doesn't he? Because the lady doesn't really understand the concept of his business.
Yeah.
And also something appears to have happened in Atlantic City previously.
Yeah, so he's got something.
She's got some history
that reflects badly on his credit or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and basically he ends up storming out of the application room and doesn't get the money that he was after.
Yeah, and but it's sort of shows its first hand of a bit of sort of screwball comedy, doesn't it? Because he then sort of comes back in and gives her his business cards, just in case you'll ever need to be kidnapped.
Yeah, would you say this is a comedy?
I would say it is. Yeah, I think so. I think it's a kind of screwball comedy type thing.
Yeah, the parts of it go for slapstick, part of it a really dark comedy. So yeah, I'd say as a genre, I'd class it as a comedy film.
Its tongue is in its cheek, isn't it?
Very much so. Yeah.
It reminded me a bit of. It's got a bit of like Matchstick Men, a bit of. It wants to be like Fargo. It's all that sort of stuff. You can see its influences, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Just after that, we get to meet his extended family, I guess. So he goes to visit his sister.
Sure, it's his niece. So it's Ray's niece's birthday party.
Yeah, so she's got a couple of kids, and they're not estranged, but they don't seem to get along. Whether she doesn't agree with what he does, I don't know. But
she sort of says to him, doesn't she? "Oh, well, glad you turned up to this one."
Yeah, cause I think he's away a lot. Doesn't really get involved with the family side of things enough, and I think she's a bit resentful of that. Just after that, he's back in he's got like a home office, and he gets a phone call, and this is Anna, who is Taylor Schilling's character. And she explains that she's got a fantasy that she wants to disappear.
Yeah, but 8 hours isn't enough for her.
Yeah, she wants to go for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And for that, she's been on his website and checked out his tariff, and she offers him $5,000.
Yeah, and his gob is smacked.
Yes, he is ecstatic at this news. He's very much up for it. This guy hasn't got any money. I think we find that out later on, don't we?
Yeah.
But there's a caveat. She says that to do this, she wants to be slapped, which is something he doesn't do. He's adamant that that's not a thing that he does. And eventually they kind of lose touch with she hangs up, doesn't she?
Yeah, basically she's like, if you're not meeting my conditions, then
we're not doing this.
Not interested. Which
freaks him out because he really wants this money. So he calls her straight back and he agrees to do it, I guess.
Yeah, he's desperate, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Yeah, very much so. And he's prepared to do anything for this $5,000. He checks pretty much straight after the conversation, he checks his bank account and the $2,500 is already in there.
Yeah.
He'd actually got $2,507. So
I didn't get the 7.
I think he'd got $7 in his bank.
Oh, of course. So
and
I'm being stupid.
Yeah, I think that was to show you how little amount of money he'd actually got. So he starts to check her out, and he follows her around for a little bit. He's kind of outside her house. He follows her to work a little bit, just to kind of get the feel of who she is and what he can do for her, I guess.
Yeah, and then he's back in his office shortly after.
Yeah,
and she calls again.
Yeah,
and she says to Ray, Anna says to Ray, "Were you at my work?"
Yeah.
Were you sitting outside my house?
Yeah, she's kind of spotted him twice, and she tells him to be more careful.
She says you need to up your game, basically, because I'm paying a lot of money, and you're not measuring up so far.
Yeah, so cut from that, we're straight into the kidnapping scene, I guess, because he goes straight for it, and he carjacks her, doesn't he?
He does.
She's kind of waiting at some traffic lights or something, and he gets in the passenger seat of her car with a gun, and he cable ties her hands to the wheel of the car. Not the wheel of the car, the steering wheel of the car. You don't want your hands cable tied to a wheel of a car.
No, that would not end well. The first thing she says to him when he gets into the car is, "Are you wearing a wig?"
Yes, because he clearly is. It's a terrible wig.
It's like flopping around there, flaccid fringe all over the place.
So he drives her off to this like nondescript location to start with, and she suddenly has a screaming fit in the car. She properly screams at the top of her voice. And I've written here, I think I see the twist. Now, there's 2 twists in this, so I definitely spotted the first one. But we'll go into them from here on in, I guess.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I don't think they were trying to hide the first twist. They wanted that seed of doubt straight away.
Yeah.
As soon as he's made the kidnap, that, is this woman aware of what...
Yeah, maybe she isn't fully aware of what's going on.
Sure.
So eventually he forces her into the boot of the car because she's being too noisy, which she's quite reluctant to do, but she does get in eventually.
She's terrified, or she's a very good actress.
Yes, either or, one of the two. He gets her back to his house, and she tries to escape. They have a bit of a scuffle straight off, don't they? But he eventually ends up tying her up in the basement.
So they get home and so she goes to the bathroom, obviously, to relieve herself, and he's outside.
Of course.
And then it really made me laugh because she opens the door and throws something at him. And I don't know what it was. Was it like a pot of cream or something?
Yeah, something like that, wasn't it?
Just cracks him right between the eyes, and it just really made me laugh. Out of nowhere, bullseye.
And he ends up getting her down in the basement, and he gags her, and he kind of turns the lights off and leaves her for the night. We're already at the end of day one.
Yeah, you. The only bit we've not mentioned is that you get, when he's planning it, don't you? You get so he's got a playbook basically.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And he says, I'm bringing out an old classic, and it's basically business kidnap. And he's playing a kidnapper whose boss wants him to get hold of this important business file.
Yeah.
Hence why he's after her, and that's basically the scenario that he's set up.
Yeah, the game that he's going to play.
So he's demanding this folder from her. That's the role play situation.
Yeah, because it's all an act, or as far as he's concerned, it's all an act. The next morning, he goes back down. He's brought breakfast. Randomly, he's managed to buy chicken wings or chicken fingers.
It's an odd breakfast.
It's an odd choice for breakfast, but it's what he went with. And he kind of he goes to feed them to her, but she's reluctant, and eventually he ends up chucking them at the wall.
And she is literally at this point begging to go home.
Yeah, she's not happy.
No, she's really layering it on.
Yeah, and this is the point where he reveals that he wants her to give up the Schwenky file.
That's right. Yeah.
Which was the name of the guy who's this fake file that he's after in this role-playing situation. And she claims to have no idea what he's talking about because she wouldn't have. And she begs him to let her go.
And he cannot break her.
No, not at all.
And to the point where he has to leave Ray, he goes back upstairs and he basically has to give himself a pep talk in the bathroom mirror.
Exactly that. That's exactly what he does. He's kind of like geeing himself up, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's starting to sort of realise he might be in a more difficult situation than he usually is with his clients.
So he goes back down and they have a bit of an argument, and he rears up as if he's going to slap her, which is what they'd agreed to. And eventually he does. She talks him into it, doesn't she?
Yeah, he doesn't do it at first, and then but she keeps going, and she's like poking a bear with a stick.
Yeah,
and she just won't. She just keeps going, pushing his buttons. And I think, what does she say? She calls him a spineless pussy.
She does.
Then he slaps her, and then she just says, "You hit like a girl."
Yeah, and he does not look impressed. Then she tells him at that point that he can have the file, which kind of throws him off his game a little bit, because obviously the file doesn't exist. And she's like, "Take me to the office and you can have the file." And he's like, "That's definitely not happening." I think he says that's definitely not happening.
Yeah, she says, like, I need to call my assistant and she can get it ready.
So again, he leaves her and he goes back upstairs to try and get his head, because he can't get his head right now what's going on.
No, he's been totally thrown for a loop.
Yeah, because normally they would play along, but she's playing along in all the wrong ways. And whilst he's upstairs, his sister turns up at his house.
Yeah, so she's turned up with a load of cash, because it turns out his brother-in-law, so his sister's husband, has lent Ray some money to get him through a week or so, and he'd then left a load of cash back in the letterbox, and she'd found it. She was like, "What the hell is this for? You've been borrowing money off my husband." So that's all kicking off, and then in the meantime, they can hear Anna in the basement.
Yeah, so he
screaming.
Basically, yeah. So she he puts the radio on, doesn't he, to try and drown her out.
Yeah, that old classic.
But it doesn't work, and she's like, "Oh, you've not got one of them at the house, at our mum and dad's house," because she obviously knows what he does. Yeah, and now we know that he lives in his mum and dad's old house. So she heads down to the basement to find out what's going on. And
I thought that was really funny as well, because she literally goes down and she's like, "Hello," and then just turns around and goes back.
So Anna's kind of screaming at her to help her and to save her, but she just presumes it's all part of the game. And I didn't catch the sister's name. I don't know what she was called.
I think it was Natalie, but she's only in like 2 scenes.
Yeah, she's not in it. I don't think she's in it again after this. Maybe towards the end. So after that, we get our first news report of the season.
Wouldn't be bottom of the stream without a news report being used for exposition.
So because he'd put the radio on, we obviously get a bit of a news report. And it turns out that Anna's been reported missing by her work colleagues. And this kind of goes against... Normally that sort of thing does... Because he only kidnaps people for 8 hours.
Yeah, it's not long enough for people
it's not long
to worry.
Enough to... Yeah, but now she's been gone for over a day. He hadn't kind of what's the word? Factored that in. Yeah, it's kind of all kind of spiralling already. More so when the fact that Anna manages to escape.
So he goes back down to the basement and she's not in the chair anymore.
Yeah, and she kind of turns around and she's on his back straight away and she stabs him. I don't catch what she stabbed him with, but she stabbed him in the back.
I thought it might have been like a fork, but I'm not really sure what it was.
I don't know, but it made...
Or where she got it from.
Made a lot of blood.
Sure.
They have a bit of a tussle and he manages to subdue her and calm her down again. Just as a knock appears at his front door.
A knock appears?
A knock appears.
How does a knock appear?
A knock mysteriously appears. Somebody knocks on his door.
That'll be the one, yeah.
And it is the cops. Because his van has been spotted or something. There was a tenuous reason why the cops had found out. It was something to do with his van.
Yeah, his van had been seen the day before in around the same place that her car had been.
Yeah. And they kind of ask if he knows Anna. And the whole time he's talking to the cops, you see from behind that his back is absolutely pouring blood.
On his lovely white T-shirt.
And the cops don't notice. He plays it off quite well. And eventually he manages to kind of get rid of them a little bit.
Yeah, he just stalls, doesn't he? He says, oh, yeah, my van's in the shop.
Yeah, and he kind of sets up a guy who works in the mechanics. I don't think he's real. He just wanted to get the cops to go, which they do. He manages to get rid of them. And he goes and patches his back up. He gets some duct tape, doesn't he?
He does, and I just looking at my notes now, I this is where I've written, at this point, I have absolutely no idea if she's in on this or not.
No, because now you're kind of getting a double twist, aren't you? Because you already know now that she isn't the one who paid for it. We don't think she is. But now are we getting it where she's still acting? So it's the double twist?
I think that's a real credit to Taylor Schilling's performance.
Yeah.
I thought she was really good in this movie. And I watched this with my wife. Like, it was only last night we watched it, and she actually turned and said she's a lot better in this than she is in Orange is the New Black.
She is the worst thing about Orange is the New Black.
Her character in Piper in Orange is the New Black is really annoying.
Yeah.
I know a lot of that is by design, but she's like the least interesting character
considering she's the main
show's
character.
About her.
Yeah. Oh, and he goes back down and he says to her, is this all a part of the act? And he asks her if she set this all up. And that's when the penny drops for him. We got it a while back, but that's kind of when it happened for him. So he explains to her what's happened.
She basically all the way through is like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Why would someone want to get kidnapped?
Yeah, and so he kind of thinks, shit, maybe somebody's setting her up. And so he asks if she's got any enemies. She asks if he's got any enemies. And he gets this picture of this lady again. Now, there's this lady from Atlantic City, who we don't know who she is at this point. But this is the second or third time this picture's come up.
Yeah.
And he shows her that, and she's like, well, it must be this person. And then, this is the really weird bit. So she tries to leave at this point, because she's not tied up now. They're both just sitting in his office.
So basically, yeah, they've had this conversation in the basement. They've both sort of been honest with each other.
Yeah.
Maybe. That, this is the situation, this is what he's doing with this company. She's saying, I have nothing to do with it. I didn't pay for it. So it cuts to them sitting in his kitchen, basically, just trying to work out what the hell's going on.
Yeah. So, but she goes to leave. She asks where her car is, and he says it's in the garage. So she goes to the garage, but he's got her keys.
Yeah.
So she comes back in, and he's like, I can't let you leave because you're going to go to the cops, and I haven't done anything. As far as he's concerned, he hasn't done anything wrong.
Sure.
And so they're kind of at the front door now, and she gets the gun, and she points the gun at him, and he says it's not a real gun. It's obviously not a real gun. I'm not a real kidnapper. It's a pellet gun.
Yeah.
So she's like, fuck this. And she shoots him with these pellets. And it's gone. It goes really slapstick. It's really funny. And then he gets the car key.
Wait, she shoots him with the pellet gun a couple of times, right, in an ad. And then she thrusts an umbrella at him.
Yeah, she does.
Just while he's on his way down.
And then he gets her car key. And he swallows it.
So can we just express this is one of those like keyless keys?
Yeah.
So
it's a great big chunk of black metal plastic. Plastic?
Yeah. Well, it is. Yeah.
Metal and plastic.
Like the size of probably the size of a small phone. and you then get like a 2-minute scene of him trying to swallow this key.
It's horrible. He's retching. He's like gagging on it.
I thought it was really funny.
It is really funny. There's a real slapstick 5 minutes.
And so they're still having this conversation every time he's like, what?
He's trying to throw it back up. It's like, it's horrible. What happens here? Oh, and then the phone rings on his desk. He's got like a landline phone, and she runs to it and she answers it, and she manages to scream down the phone for help. And then she hits him with the phone, which again was quite slapstick. It was quite funny.
Yeah, she properly winds up and smashes his head with this phone. It's because it's a big like old style landline phone, isn't it?
Yeah, but then I don't know if I missed something here, but he kind of wakes up, but she's still unconscious. Now, what made her go unconscious?
So as she was following through with the home run swing with the phone,
yeah,
she slipped on a Polaroid. Because
of course.
When they were arguing before, you said about these pictures, so he's got a whole like board of, I presume they're like previous clients and stuff. So that's all fallen on the floor. So
yeah.
her heel slips on one of the photographs,
and that's what knocks her out.
Yeah, so she falls over and smacks her head. So they're both out.
He wakes up first.
Yeah,
she's still unconscious, and they go on a drive. So they're sitting next to each other in the car. She's still knocked out. Now, is this her car?
I'm not sure.
If it is, how's he got that key back? I don't even want to know.
No, it can't have been. It can't have been.
It can't be.
No,
you're right. It can't be. It must be his. And eventually she wakes up and they start having a bit more of a chat, don't they? And she's like, he says to her, I don't think you understand the amount of abuse that I've taken from you.
Yeah. And she's like, you are not the victim.
Yeah, I am the victim here.
You kidnapped me. What are you? How are you even trying this on? And
she punches him whilst he's driving.
Yeah, she does. So he has to pull over and put her back in the boot again, or the trunk, whatever your preference is.
Yeah, not saying. When they go into this like cabin. I think was it his grandfather's cabin or somebody's cabin, his father's cabin.
Yeah, he says that it's the family cabin. And
when they get there, she manages to try and escape from him again, because she manages to hide. While he's not looking, she hides behind the car. So she's just not there when he gets out of the car. But he soon finds her again, and they have a bit more of a scuffle. And she manages to dislodge his wig a little bit. Finally,
it is properly flapping around by this point.
It is, and he manages to tie her up again, and he tries to explain again that he's a good guy. He's just providing the service. They need to come to some sort of agreement because they can't keep going the way they're going. So he says to her, are you hungry? And she's like, I haven't eaten for 36 hours. Of course I'm fucking hungry. So he makes her some soup. But whilst he's making the soup, he's putting these pills in it. So I presume he was going to kill her.
I don't know.
He put a lot of pills in that soup.
Or he was just planning to knock her out for the second day so he didn't have to deal with it. I'm not sure, really.
I don't know.
I don't know, because it seems a bit out of character for him to actually try and bump her up.
Yeah, it really does. I don't know. There was a lot of pills went in that soup.
Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, he has like a crisis of conscience halfway through it cooking, so he just throws it away as soon as it's finished. And he just makes her some more. And this is where you get a bit of an explanation of who he is and what he does. So he says that he started his business in Atlantic City with his ex-wife, who is the woman in the photograph that we've seen a few times now.
Yeah.
That's basically it. He didn't really explain what went wrong.
No, they both sort of shared a little bit, but not really anything. So that it came out that they were both divorced.
Yeah, she says about her ex-husband as well, didn't she?
Yeah, but there's not a ton of content there. I mean, we haven't really mentioned it, but this is a really short film.
Yeah, it is. It's only like 84 minutes.
And that's with credits.
Yeah.
So you're probably looking at like an hour and 20 minutes.
At the most, yeah.
Which is really short. But it was right. It was the right length for this.
Yeah, agreed. It was punchy, wasn't it? It was fast moving. It was...
Sure.
There was always something going on. There was never any filler. There was never any boring scenes. And they're kind of developing this like rapport now. And you can tell that they're getting a little bit closer, to the point where she says that if he unties her, she won't go to the cops.
Yeah, she says, if you let me go, I will not mention that you had anything to do with this.
Yeah, because she says it's clear that your ex-wife has set this up. She's got history. She knows the business. So it's clear that she's done this. And then, so he unties her.
But then, yeah, no, he does, you're right. And you think, oh, right, we've come to a conclusion here. But then she still can't resist needling him.
Yeah.
And she says, I want to know what did your ex-wife say to you? What happened? And he won't tell her. And she says, I think it's basically because you're a control freak.
Yeah.
And I think she said, did you hit her? Is that why you wouldn't slap me?
Yeah.
And he basically says, yeah, I did, but it was just once.
Yeah. And so she kind of starts freaking out a little bit, doesn't she? And she smashes the place up a bit.
Yeah.
Just to try and goad him. And she says, I think everything you've said is bullshit. And he grabs her by the throat, which is really out of character for him because he didn't even want to slap her. And he's proper, like, strangling her at one point.
But she's proved that, that he's got that in him.
Yeah.
So, it's took a lot to wind him up to that point. But she's sort of nailed his character, hasn't she?
Absolutely. And then, so he kind of lets go and he apologises, doesn't he? And then she kind of hits him with this fireplace poker.
Yeah.
And knocks him out. And when he wakes up, he's tied up himself now. The roles have reversed. And she's got him at gunpoint. She's found this, like, shotgun.
Yeah, it was like a semi-automatic thing. I don't know where... Did she say where she found it?
Presumably just in the cabin somewhere. Because he says to her, that's a real gun. That's not a pellet gun.
Yeah.
Be careful. And this time she puts him in the trunk of the car. He's really adamant that he's not going in. So she shoots at his feet to try and convince him. And he's like, fuck this, I'm going in. He gets in the car. He gets in the boot of the car and she drives off. And we get our first montage of the season. There's a hiding in the boot montage.
Yeah, it is, but it's mostly just focused on his face.
Yeah,
the crack,
you could hear
the sliver of light through the car trunk.
Yeah, it's more of an audio montage because you can hear different scenarios going on outside.
Yeah, like the noise of the road surface changes and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. Eventually they park up and she lets him out. And they're on this, like, rooftop car park.
Yeah, he's like, where are we?
Where are we? Are we at the police station? What's going on? And she just says, well, she's got her business suit back on now. And she says, you can drop the act now. It's been 48 hours. We're all done. Simulation's over.
Yeah, she's like, this is the car park of where I work.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I had a really good weekend.
Yeah, she's like, thanks for the service. She says, I'll offer you some more money for damages. Just send me a bill. Because obviously we damaged more than I was intending to. And she's like really happy with the service. I could have done with more slapping. I really enjoyed the strangling.
Yeah.
She's clearly mental. And she says her goodbyes, basically.
Well, she kind of offers to invest in the business.
Yeah, she does.
Because she sort of says, I work in this sort of advertising. I think I could help you grow this. If you want an investor, hit me up.
Yeah.
There you go.
And she just walks off, and that's the end of the simulation, and pretty much almost the end of the film. So Ray leaves at that point. He kind of just walks home. He looks all like shell-shocked because as far as he was concerned, she wasn't the person who had paid him. It hadn't even crossed his mind that she was double bluffing him. And as he's walking home, he walks past a fast food restaurant, and the fat guy who he was dealing with at the beginning is sitting there. So he kind of stares at him for a little bit, and the waitress brings out a salad.
Yeah.
So his business works.
And they both just sort of smile at each other. There you go.
Yeah, that's the end of your film.
So he has helped that fat guy sort of move on.
Turn his life around.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was not at all what I was expecting.
No, not me.
It was a lot more subtle than I was expecting. Because we don't see many subtle films.
No, that's true.
On this podcast. And I was not expecting like a screwball comedy. And it almost was, it had elements of, like you say, slapstick and farce, really.
Yeah.
You could almost see this being a play.
Yeah. Two-man show.
Like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I thought it was good. I enjoyed it.
It had a really weird charm about it, I thought. There was just something about it that made you think. I think there's two twists in this film. The first one's obvious. The second one's not so obvious, but you kind of do see it coming. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think the fact that the second twist is there is really, it gives that film that extra bit of gravitas to it, a bit of oomph. I enjoyed it. There was points where I was like, this isn't really getting me, but I got over it. And like you say, it's only on for like just over an hour and 10 minutes probably altogether.
Yeah, some of the exchanges between the two leads have are really funny.
Yeah.
Like I say, the slapstick / key swallowing bit I thought was really funny. And like I said, I think Taylor Schilling is really good. And the fact that the second twist is that there was no twist all along.
Yeah.
I liked that. And it just showed she was a great actress. Like the character, Anna, was a great actress.
Yeah, she really was.
Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
I was pleasantly surprised. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's not like stunning, but it was, it was cool.
Yeah, it's a good way to start the season.
Yeah, solid.
That's what I'd say. Yeah, it's solid. I'll tell you what, It's going straight to the top of the stream table.
Oh, well, there you go. What more can you say? I was going to put it straight at the bottom.
Fair enough, we'll do both. Obviously, for the next few weeks, the stream table is going to be quite easy, but until we get used to it, when it starts bedding in is when it gets interesting. So, are we going to continue with our trivia game? I think we should, because you beat me in the last season, and I want to try and get that back.
I'm happy to try and defend my crown.
Okay, so have you got a question?
I do, yeah.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. So, can you tell me the make of Anna's car, which she drives around in quite a lot in the first 15 minutes and is then kidnapped from?
Between two.
Okay.
I think it was a BMW.
What was your other option?
An Audi.
Oh, you'd have been wrong on both counts.
Oh, damn it.
It was Mercedes.
I should have known.
Good go. Good effort. Good effort.
That's really bad. Okay, which one? I've got two. Which one shall I do? This one. Right at the beginning of the film, the Ray is trying to stop this guy eating too many burgers from a particular fast food joint. Do you know the name of the fast food restaurant?
I did not pick that up, so I'm going to be guessing. Okay. I am going to go for Wendy's.
No.
Damn it.
Close. It was Baxby's. Do you want to know my other question?
Yeah, go for it.
When he kidnapped that same guy, he did it outside a bar. Do you know the name of the bar?
No. Didn't get that. What was it?
Shooters.
Ah. No, I did see... Now you mention it. Yeah, I did see
the two O's were shot glasses, and it looked like it said shitters.
That's a whole different clientele.
Right, so yeah, take me. Top of the stream table, bottom of the stream table, and a half-decent film to start the season on, I reckon.
0-0 in the quiz. There you go. What more can you want?
Well, welcome to season 3. Pretty much all that leaves us to do now. We've kind of flew through this episode. This will be the shortest one we've done in a while.
I think it's because it was a short film.
Yeah, it was. And until we get used to not being in front of each other, it's going to be a bit weird as well, I guess.
I really hope this comes across and it sounds okay as well. We'll see.
Yeah, me too. Please bear with us for a few weeks while we get... It's something we've never done before, so while we get used to what's going on. The audio quality might be a bit off. But
yeah, we hope not, but stick with us, please.
Yeah. We'll do what we can. We'll try and entertain you during these poor times.
We'll try to work it out as we go along.
Yeah. That just leaves us with next week's film. Now, I had a message earlier on today.
Oh, exciting.
From one of our Patreons.
Oh no.
Mr. Ross Cook emailed me earlier today and he asked me if the wildcards had been reset for season 3. And I said, well, yeah, obviously they have. I've now got a new wildcard. You've got a new wildcard, which I hope you're going to use better than you did last season.
I make no promises.
And our two Patreons have both also got their wildcards. I said that to him and he went, okay, I want to play mine.
Wildcard.
Wow, early.
I was like, really? In episode 2? But he was adamant. So we're not randomising a film this week. We are going to watch a film that Ross Cook has picked for us.
Okay. Well, last season Ross Cook picked Animal World, which was fantastic. So you've got a lot to live up to, mate.
I couldn't agree more. Last season you picked a sci-fi film.
I did, yeah.
Ross has picked a sci-fi film.
Oh, okay.
So he's taken a gamble because we don't have a good history with sci-fi films. He's picked a film called Ark.
Okay.
Which is spelled A-R-Q.
I remember adding this to the list.
You added this to the list, didn't you?
Yeah. I can't remember what it's about.
Do you want to know the synopsis?
Yes, please.
It says, trapped in a lab and stuck in a time loop, a disorientated couple fend off masked raiders while harbouring a new energy source that could save humanity.
I mean...
Ross has chosen a sci-fi film about people in a time loop.
Okay. This is going to go... I feel this will go one of two ways. Kind of sounds like a cool premise.
This film will also give us a second person into the club of the third time on the stream table.
Oh, who we got?
Robbie Amell.
Oh, excellent.
So that'll be the third time we've dealt with Robbie Amell. So yeah, go out and watch Ark.
He was in something we watched the other day.
Was he?
As well. Yeah, The Duff.
Oh yeah,
He was in that. It was quite funny actually for a rom-com, teen rom-com. It was, enjoyed it. He's good. He's funny.
Excellent. Okay, so go out next week, or this week, or don't go out. Go and watch.
Definitely
Ark.
stay in.
Stay at home. Don't go anywhere. Stay at home and watch Ark. And we will be back next week, and we will talk about it with you. Cheers.
Bye.